Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashlyn. I am a 26-year-old wife and mom. We are working on some big money goals this year, one of which is a low spend 2025. I make lots of personal finance budgeting content like this, so if that sounds like something you would be into, please subscribe and join us here on this channel. Sorry if you can hear some sawing going on. My neighbors are cutting down their tree outside, so that's lovely. Sorry, it's just a little ambiance. So I wanted to talk about my first month in our low spend year, how we did. We have one more week of January left, but I'm moving, so I know I won't get this filmed before then. So we're just gonna film it now and we can, reflect and see how we go. One of my goals with this low spend year was to have, my notes are right here, sorry, I need to look at you, not my notes. One of my goals for this low spend year was to have, 25 no spend days in a month. We missed that by a lot this month. Most of those days were days that I was spending money that we had budgeted for. But there were 3 days that we spent money that was not budgeted for. The first was on January 1st, so started it strong. I went and bought some very discounted Christmas decorations. I'm not mad about it. I had decided that I was going to do a low spend, but I hadn't really thought all of it through. So yes, I cheated. No, I didn't. I don't know. We'll leave it up. That was a bad day. No spending. I didn't do good. It was only $10, so it's not like it was crazy. But the other time was when I had to go to the chiropractor for my back. Did not expect to be having to do that. So I spent $200 that I wasn't planning on. So that was not in the budget. And then the third day was somewhere here towards the end of the month. We really needed some bread. My kids eat so much of it, and so we bought some, and it was over our grocery budget. So those are the 3 mess ups that we had this month, but we also had lots of wins when it came to our low spend. So the first one, our vacuum broke like the second day of January, which was so handy. And with kids, if you have kids, you'd vacuum and clean all the time. Like, our floors are constantly covered in everything. So a vacuum is a vital part of keeping our household clean and running smoothly. So when it broke, my initial thought was, okay, we'll just run to the store and get a new one. But with this low spend, I was like, okay, wait, I can't do that. I already told myself I'm not just buying brand new things this year. So I went on to Facebook Marketplace and was finding a few. I found a really expensive option. It was brand new, brand new. But it was like $100 for this vacuum. Initially they said it was like $200, so I was like, oh, I'm getting a deal. But it was $100. There were options at Walmart that were like between $40 and $60. So once I talked myself out of the $100 version, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can get a brand new one for $40 to $60. Had to reel myself back in. I almost went and got it. And I went to my Buy Nothing group, and I just sent out a little request and said, does anyone have a vacuum that we could have? And so 2 people offered me a vacuum, which was awesome. So we went and picked one up, and we are the proud owners of a new to us vacuum. It works great. That was totally free. Didn't cost us a dime. So that was a big learning curve for me, I'd say. Really in my self-control, my restraint in wanting to make those purchases and just quick, let's go make this purchase. I would say that this is very good for me. Saved me literally $100, this no spend challenge that I set for myself. So that, I would say, was a big win. There were actually a couple other things. They must have just fallen on the same day as other things that we spent. But there were 2 unforeseen charges that I wasn't planning on. One from my daughter's pediatrician and one from my husband's doctor. Both of them just randomly sent a bill from visits forever ago that we had to pay. So I wasn't planning on paying those, but I paid them. I just took them out of the money that we would have put towards savings. I talked about this in my budget video, but I have decided that I want to put aside a $75 miscellaneous fund every month so that I can, if things like that come up, doctor's bills specifically, that I need to pay for right then I can pull from that miscellaneous account, but I will still be able to pay myself first at the beginning of the month when those paychecks come in and get our money that we plan on saving into our savings so there's not room for error otherwise. Other than that, I would say that things went very well this month in our low spend, no spend. I didn't feel like we were holding ourselves back from spending any more than usual. If anything, it just helped me stick to my budgeted categories better. I wasn't like overspending here and taking it over into this account. I feel like I did a much better job of just being like strict with myself and sticking to the budget that I set. So honestly, I am very happy with how the challenge is going, and just that I set this challenge for myself in general. I feel like it's going to be really good for me specifically this year. My mindset when it comes to money and my habits with spending. I did recently come across a podcast where they were talking about a book. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my Libby holds. I'm just waiting for it to become available. But it's something about ending with zero or solving for zero. It's basically about having a finite amount of your health, your time, and the experiences that you can have in life, and kind of how that all plays together. And it's shifted my mindset a little bit from being so nitty-gritty crazy about my finances and thinking a little bit more about the experiences we want to have while we are still kind of in our prime with our little kids. I'll try and link the podcast in the description if it sounds like something that might be interesting to you. I definitely am still very much, about my savings, and we are strict with ourselves, and we're still going forward with our low spend year, but it has given me some more things to think about and kind of just made me think about prioritizing experiences over things like, had I spent that $100 on a vacuum, that's $100 less that I would have saved to put towards something like, I don't know, going to dinner with our friends like we're doing this month. So this month, not February. Yeah, so just things like that. I'll try and link the podcast. I'll try and find what the book is actually called. I'll look it up after I film this and stick it in the description for you. So if you're interested in maybe hearing that and reading that too, I found it to be very interesting. But that is all that I have for our catch up for the month. I'm excited to jump into February and keep this low spend going, stick to our budgets, even with moving. And yeah, that's all I've got. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If there's anything that you want me to include in these low spend, no spend updates, then let me know. I'm kind of just winging it when it comes to this, but I hope you enjoyed this little bonus video this week, and I will see you again next week for another one. Bye!